What up, T Squad? Now, before we get into the video, please put some grease on the floor so you could fall on that like button. And then while you're trying to get up, use the subscribe button as a support. Thank you. Here are... Nah. I don't like that beginning. Before I get into the 4 ways to lose belly fat scientifically, let me learn y'all something. Let me learn you a little bit of something. We are going to particularly focus on white fat and visceral fat. Now, while some white fat is necessary for good health, too much white fat is very harmful. A healthy body fat percentage range depends on your level of fitness or physical activity, and even the way your body is shaped. Visceral fat, also known as belly fat, is the white fat that is stored in your abdomen and around all of your major organs such as your liver, kidneys, pancreas, intestines, and heart. High visceral fat levels, since they store all around the locations near your organs, can increase your risk for diabetes, heart disease, stroke, artery disease, and even some cancers. Now, this goes to say that abdominal fat is particularly harmful because it stores white fat near your organs. So losing this fat can have significant benefits for your health and well-being. And if you work out that belly, you can create a stronger core and stronger back. Here are some lifestyle hacks to lose bad belly fat and become that bad mama jamma. Number 1, avoid sugar and sugar-sweetened drinks. Excess sugar, mostly due to large amounts of fructose, and yes, this means cane sugar, cane juice, molasses, raw sugar, turbinado sugar, malt syrup, and date sugar, can contribute to fat building up around your abdomen and liver. Sugar, especially refined sugars and carbs, can create an inflammatory response in the body and lowers your immune system, spikes insulin levels in the body. This puts your body in a very stressed out state. And when this happens, it gets quickly absorbed into the bloodstream and begins to store fat around the belly. When a lot of sugar is added into the bloodstream at one time instead of a slow, steady release that happens when you eat unprocessed plant foods, the pancreas senses that spike in sugar and produces a lot of insulin to manage the sugar spike. The job of insulin is to move the sugar out of the bloodstream into the cells so it doesn't damage the blood vessels and organs. It's essential to be aware of the hidden sugars in foods. It's hard enough to avoid sugars we know about, but some go by names that people may not always understand. One of the most overlooked and problematic sugar is high fructose corn syrup. So foods like granola bar, ketchup, yogurt, and different breakfast cereals may also have these hidden sugars. So I'm gonna let you in on one of the top secrets though. The worst
Shut your mouth.
sugar is liquid sugar. The reason why is because the brain doesn't register liquid calories in the same way as solid calories. So when you drink sugar-sweetened beverages, you end up consuming even more total calories than if you were to eat a donut. Number 2, eat more protein. Now, I actually got this from an actual nutritionist that I met in person when I was taking my grandfather to the cancer center. And she told me it is better to eat protein with a little whole grain carbs. So let's understand why and how proteins play a critical role in reducing belly fat. So they do this by building lean muscle mass and increasing the number of calories you burn during digestion. Proteins help increase the amount of energy and calories you expend each day, which promotes weight loss. So this further promotes weight loss because proteins take much longer to break down while giving you a longer lasting energy. So couple this with a little whole 9 refined grains and you have yourself an energy train. Number 3, replace your simple carbohydrates for complex carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are the building blocks of plant foods, and it includes foods such as fruit, starchy vegetables, cereals, legumes, as well as simple sugars, including table sugar and honey. So carbohydrates are categorized in two sections. Yes, I said two sections: complex structures and simple structures. Now, complex carbohydrates are a lot of individual sugars or glucose molecules, while simple sugars are fructose, sucrose, and glucose itself. Simple carbs, which contain just fructose, sucrose, and glucose itself, have higher amounts of calories than good old whole grain, starchy foods. So foods such as white bread, white bagels, white rice, cakes, and muffins, and all the other sugary stuff like soft drinks and juices, candy and chocolate, all of those things with a high amount of calories and a high amount of glucose is just being released into the bloodstream after eating. In order to get this heavy load of glucose out of the bloodstream as quickly as possible, insulin, like I mentioned before, a hormone, secretes out of the pancreas. Not only does the consistent insulin spike and instability promote insulin resistance, diabetes too, but insulin causes weight gain. When the cells absorb too much glucose and the body converts this into fat. And high levels of insulin over time results in fat storage specifically around the abdomen. This means having a lifestyle where you are consistently eating simple carbs gradually increases insulin levels, and there's a higher chance that you'll store belly fat. So this is not the case for everyone because it's largely influenced by age, exercise, genetics, and cultural background. This concept may be expressed in the glycemic index, which is a value used to measure how much specific foods increase blood sugar levels. So you all go check the glycemic index near you. Number 4, eat fiber-rich foods. Dietary fiber is essential, essential for health. Fiber, also known as roughage, is a part of plant-based foods, grains, fruits, vegetables, nuts, and beans that the body simply cannot break down. Because it is left in your stomach undigested, it ends up in your colon, where it feeds a lot of friendly gut bacteria, leading to various health benefits. Certain types of fiber may also promote weight loss, lower blood sugar levels, and fight constipation. The Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics recommends consuming about 14 grams of fiber for every 1,000 calories you consume daily. This translates to roughly 24 grams of fiber for women and 38 grams for men. Most people do not meet the recommended daily intake for women and men. Unfortunately, an estimated 95% of US American adults and children do not meet the recommended daily fiber intake at all. In the US, the average daily fiber intake is estimated to be 16.2 grams. And part of the reason why is because a lot of US Americans are not eating sufficient amounts of fruits and vegetables in its whole form, but we were given the narrative to stay away from carbs, all of them. Or we eat carbs, but we don't understand the difference between simple and complex carbs and what they look like. Fortunately, increasing your fiber intake is relatively easy if you integrate high fiber foods into your diet. So fiber is just a blanket term that applies to any type of carbohydrates that your body can't digest. There are two types of fiber, and some of the fiber makes you feel full and satisfied by staying in your stomach for a while. So less feels like a lot more. And others go into your colon and gut and feeds the good bacteria that promote healthy digestion and weighs your poop down. So it easily leaves your intestinal tract. So dietary fiber is a thing that I would like to make a video about because it is too heavy for this already long video. So here's just a short list of foods that you can integrate into your diet so that you can actually get your daily intake of fiber.